Returning from the first Dark Souls, the Black Knight Greatsword is quite different from its counterpart in that game, but in my opinion is better because of it. As for the weapon's stats, it requires 28 strength, 20 dexterity, 12 intelligence, and 12 faith to wield, and it has a C scaling in both strength and fire, as well as an E scaling in dexterity. With these minimum stats to wield, it has approximately 350 physical and 110 fire attack rating, adding up to a total AR of 460. As I am using the Ring of Blades +2 and Flynn's Ring, I have an extra 100 physical attack rating for a total of 560 with a Greatsword. Yeah. Additionally, it has a 110 counter bonus, which is average for a Greatsword, 12 rate, which is about double the average, and 70 durability, so it's not going to break easily, making it quite nice for PvE. But this is a review for its use in PvP, so let's get to talking about that. This weapon has quite a lot going for it. As mentioned already, it has quite a high attack rating for a Greatsword. As most of it is physical, you're not going to suffer against someone with high elemental defense, such as a person who casts Great Magic Barrier. But the fact that part of its damage is inherently elemental allows you to take more advantage from buffing than a purely physical weapon would be able to do. As an aside, you do need to use spells to buff this, resins will not work. In addition to the high damage, the Black Knight Greatsword has an excellent moveset. In my opinion, it is one of the best Greatsword class movesets in the game, having a good variety of both radial and outward hitting moves. In particular is the one-handed R2 poke, which is especially good due to the weapon's greatest positive quality, the length. This weapon is absurdly long for a Greatsword, outstripping everything but the Moonlight Greatsword. It's nearly as long as some Ultra Greatswords, for that matter. This quality allows you to outrange pretty much anything but a long spear or long heavy weapons such as the named Greatsword or the Zweihander. You can also hit people out of their rolls with the two-handed R1 or the one-handed R2 more often than with other weapons, as I show in a few clips in this video. But not everything is sunshine and rainbows. All good must come with some sort of bad. In the case of this weapon, there are three such qualities. The first is the speed. Now, don't get me wrong, this weapon is quite fast, but it's not straight sword or small axe fast. As such, particularly reactive opponents can just dodge the attacks all day long if they put their mind to it. The second negative quality is its stamina usage. This thing uses more stamina than most greatswords, and so if you're not careful, you'll find yourself completely drained and open to your opponent's attacks, like what happens to me in a few of the clips here. The final negative quality is the weight. As I've already mentioned, this weighs 12 units of weight. For comparison, that is exactly how much the Zweihander in Ultra Greatsword weighs. This is not a light weapon. And especially if you're wanting to use the Flynn's Ring as I am, you're going to have to go with mostly lighter armor if you want a sufficiently low equip rate. In my case, I went with a medium chest piece and light pieces for everything else, with the bonus of looking quite nice as well. But yeah, that's the weapon in a nutshell. Overall, it is a very good weapon with good damage, a fantastic moveset only enhanced by its long length, and very few negative aspects. For reference, I only lost once or twice when I used this. It's a very, very good weapon, and I don't quite get why you don't see it more. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about the weapon, so for these last few clips, I think I'll just provide some commentary on the fighting. This guy here, I pretty much only included this clip just because I like the guy's name, and also because right here I get a parry on him, because he was too eager about his attacks. He spammed them too readily, and so I was able to very easily predict him and get a parry. As an aside, that's something you very much do not want to do in the arena, because more so than any other place in the game, a lot of people in the arena liked and are good at parrying. And so I found that if I go to the arena after having done a lot of PvP outside the arena, that I get parried a lot because I'm not used to being punished in that way. In the case of this video, I didn't get much footage of such players, but that is usually how it is. Now, this guy here, he managed to get me by doing an R1 followed by an R2. What I expected him to do was to do an R1 followed by another R1. That's why I backstepped through his first attack, hesitated a bit because the second attack would have a bit of a delay, and then parried. but because he followed up with an R2, which is much quicker, he managed to hit me. Because of that, and the fact that he stayed locked to this strategy later on, right here, I'm able to get that parry and the riposte for the win, because he did the same thing, and I knew he would do that. So that's a good lesson for watching strategies that your opponent likes, and when they like to do them, so that way you can predict them and get a parry like I do. But yeah, this is the last clip here. I think I'll just leave you to watch the rest of it. So be sure to comment below on what you thought, so that way I can improve in the future. Thanks again for watching, and see ya!